Hello and welcome to Myth and Magic. We are in our segment of dragons, fire, and legends. We're going to be talking about the Hydra. And in case you didn't know, because I keep forgetting to introduce myself, I am Lore. Lore with a no E at the end. So we are here talking about lore and fantasy and myth, and just getting our creative juices flowing, thinking about all things fantasy. And right now, we're going to be talking about the Hydra. And if you don't know what a Hydra is, I can help you really fast. Disney's Hercules. That many-headed dragon creature he fights, and he keeps chopping off the heads, and they keep popping up and popping up and popping up. There's your Hydra. But we'll talk about we'll get into it a little more. We're diving into one of the most iconic and terrifying creatures in Greek mythology, the Hydra, known for its many heads and ability to regenerate them. The Hydra is not just a fearsome beast, but a symbol of eternal struggle. In today's episode, we'll uncover the legend of the Hydra, explore its origins, its symbolism, and its place in mythology and modern fantasy. The word Hydra traces back to Greek Hydra, meaning water serpent, a feminine form of Hydor, which means water. It's part of the Indo-European root wed, meaning water or wet, which also gave rise to words like otter, undulate, and vodka. So not relying entirely on Disney's Hercules, in case you haven't seen it, the Hydra. It is a legendary, multi-headed serpent or dragon-like creature from ancient Greek mythology. It is famously known for having 9 heads, although some myths suggest more. And whenever one of these heads is lopped off, 2 more grow back in its place. This regenerative ability made it a particularly dangerous foe. Imagine battling a creature where every strike only makes it more powerful. Not a fun time. The Hydra is said to dwell in the swamps of Lerna, an area in the Argolid region of Greece, and was known for terrorizing the local population. Not only did it have a terrifying ability to regenerate its heads, but the Hydra's breath and blood were poisonous, adding another layer of danger to anyone who dared face it. The Hydra first appears in Greek myth as one of the offspring of Typhon and Echidna, 2 of the most fearsome monsters in Greek mythology. Typhon was a giant serpentine creature, and Echidna was a half-woman, half-snake monster. The cry of my cat. Sorry if you can hear that. Together, they are considered the parents of many terrifying creatures, including the Chimera and Cerberus. The Hydra itself is most famous for its connection to the 12 labors of Heracles, or Hercules, as known in Roman mythology. Heracles, the son of Zeus, was tasked with killing the Hydra as one of his 12 near impossible labors. And if you want to learn more about this, you can go, and I will put a link in the bio here, or the description here, Hera. Hera was very much involved in Heracles' trials, because as much as we love the Disney version, it was not accurate to myth. So, if you want to learn more about the 12 trials and the Hydra, go watch the Hera video that I have linked in the description below. So Heracles' battle with the Hydra is one of the most iconic episodes in Greek mythology, and it's filled with peril, ingenuity, and the will to overcome the impossible. So, okay, you can go watch the Hera video because it has more about her involvement. But the story is that when Heracles arrived at the swamp where the Hydra lived, he found the creature waiting for him, its 9 heads rising from the waters. As he swung his sword to decapitate one of the heads, he soon discovered that cutting off a head didn't defeat the creature. In fact, as we mentioned, 2 more heads grew back in its place. To make matters worse, one of the heads was immortal and could not be destroyed by ordinary means. In order to defeat the Hydra, Heracles had to work with his companions, Iolus. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that one out. Iolus, who helped him by cauterizing the stumps of the heads as they were cut off. This prevented the heads from regenerating. After a long and grueling battle, Heracles finally managed to slay the Hydra by cutting off its immortal head and burying it under a heavy rock. The Hydra's blood was poisonous and deadly, and it's said that Heracles dipped his arrows in it, creating poison-tipped arrows for future use. The Hydra is a creature rich with symbolism. In many ways, it represents the idea of an ever-growing challenge, a monster that grows stronger the more you try to defeat it. The regeneration of the Hydra's heads can be interpreted as a metaphor for problems that seem insurmountable, where each solution or attempt to address the issue only creates more challenges. The immortal head of the Hydra, which could not be destroyed, is often seen as a symbol of invincible forces, those things in life that appear undefeatable, no matter how hard we try. The Hydra's ability to regenerate is often linked to the idea of resilience, but also overcoming forces beyond human control. Beyond Heracles' battle with the Hydra, this creature has continued to appear in various myths and stories, symbolizing the eternal struggle against overwhelming odds. The Hydra's multi-headed nature is also often used to represent complex problems, issues with many facets where each solution leads to more problems. One of the most interesting aspects of the Hydra's mythology is its role in alchemy and medieval literature. Alchemists and writers sometimes use the Hydra as a symbol of transformation, much like the worm or even the, we just talked about it last time, the one in our last video. Particularly in their quest to understand the mysterious process of change, destruction, and rebirth. The Hydra-headed monster represents not just physical battle, but intellectual, spiritual, and emotional battles. Additionally, in heraldry and medieval art, the Hydra often appears as a symbol of strength, danger, and defiance against death. It was frequently used by knights and rulers to symbolize their ability to face even the most daunting of challenges and emerge victorious. So how does the Hydra appear in modern fantasy? In today's books, movies, and video games, the Hydra continues to be a prominent figure, albeit in various forms. Many fantasy writers draw inspiration from the Hydra when crafting multi-headed monsters. Whether it's a dragon-like creature with multiple heads or serpentine beasts with the power of regeneration, the Hydra's characteristics can be seen in many modern myths and stories. In Dungeons & Dragons, the Hydra is a formidable foe that can regenerate heads when wounded. It's often portrayed as a challenge for adventurers, requiring not just brute strength but clever tactics to defeat. In the Percy Jackson books by Rick Riordan, the Hydra is a dangerous creature that continues the mythological tradition of multi-headed monsters, but with a more modern twist. The Hydra has also made appearances in various movies, including Clash of the Titans, both the original 1981 version and the 2010 remake, where it serves as a key antagonist. The creature's ability to regenerate its heads makes it a particularly dangerous monster, requiring cleverness and bravery to defeat. The Hydra's influence extends beyond traditional fantasy and into popular culture, with numerous appearances in comic books, video games, and films. In the Marvel Comics, the Hydra organization is a secret villainous group with an ever-expanding influence, echoing the mythological creature's ability to grow more heads. The phrase, "cut off one head, two more appear," is used to describe the unending nature of their influence. In the Harry Potter series, the three-headed dog Fluffy has some similarities to the Hydra, though he's more of a guard than a monster and is very much more of a Cerberus dog thing than a Hydra, in my opinion. It still has the idea of multiple heads guarding something important, and that is a familiar trope, especially within Greek mythology and in, Fluffy is a Cerberus, the dog who guards Hades, and Hades as in the underworld. I'm sure he's there to protect his master too. But in video games like Final Fantasy and the Elder Scrolls, Hydra-like creatures often appear, drawing directly from the myth's themes of regeneration and multiple heads, challenging players to outsmart them. Now this is going to be a bit of a shorter video, but I think that's okay. The other ones are longish, but the Hydra doesn't have as much pull on me, I guess, and so I have less tangents in this video. But regardless, the Hydra is a creature that has haunted myth and imagination for millennia. It's more than just a terrifying monster. It is a symbol of the challenges we face, the endless cycles of struggle and growth, and the triumph of resilience and intelligence over raw power. Whether in ancient Greek myths, medieval heraldry, or modern pop culture, the Hydra remains an enduring symbol of the battle against forces that seem impossible to overcome. All right, thank you for joining me on this deep dive. Kind of. I mean, there's not a whole lot more to say about the Hydra. It's not as intimately linked to dragons, right? It's got a dragon body and a lot of heads, and it breathes poisonous breath, has poisonous blood. But as far as having just more to it, the Hydra's pretty straightforward. It's also just not one of those that I have a lot to say about. So if you have any additional comments, let me know down below. We're here to discuss, inspire, and have fun. So, yeah, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for going on this journey with me. And, I hope maybe that the Hydra has more inspiration for you than it does me. All right? Please be kind, be the light in this world. We need it. And thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.